Welcome guys to another video. Today we're going to be working on the suspension system. My track day it's next week on October 4th, so I am trying to get this car done as fast as I can. I know I have the Project Orange happening, so I'm gonna step away from that project real quick and finish this car in order to get it prepped up for the track event. So today we're going to be working on suspension system, and this one's going to be quite interesting actually. Today I'm bringing you this content. It's very interesting because on these cars there is a common modification done to this, which is the Type R front end conversion, which involves the Type R axles, lower control arms, and hubs. So in order to run the Brembos, people usually do that entire conversion in order to make the Brembos work. But if you see my IG post, it's possible to actually do Brembos without doing all that. So I will be making a video in order to explain further how to install Brembos. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But this one is regarding the lower control arms. The most common thing to do is to install Type R axles along with the lower control arms and hubs as well. But you don't have to do that, and I'm gonna tell you how you can avoid all those steps. So here we have the Type R lower control arms. They are fully made out of aluminum, very strong and very light. So this is why people try to install these things, because obviously when it comes to performance, this one definitely has it. The Type S does not have aluminum control arms. They have I believe it's steel, so they're very heavy and they're really not that strong, and they have rubber bushings as well. The bushings that I'm using in this lower control arm, they are energy suspension, and I had these pressed in by a local shop. So these are poly now. So this lower control arm is definitely track ready now. So this one is definitely a nice setup. So now I'm gonna explain the theory behind how you can avoid installing Type R hubs and axles along with this. So basically, these bolt on only on the 05 and 06 Type S. The 05, 06 Type S share the same bolt joints as the Type R, so keep that in mind. Technically, this should be a bolt-on modification. So that means you don't need Type R hubs in order to install these. What you do need will be camber bolts. Why is that? Because the Type S hub, in order to install this, the Type R is a lot wider, so that means the bottom end of the car is going to be pushed out more, meaning that there's going to be more camber. You need camber bolts. Now you can adjust the camber on the car without any issues. I have all the pieces here. You don't need these axles. This is just in the picture because I am replacing my Type S axles with brand new ones. So forget about that. We're only focusing on this. So enough of me talking about this. Now we're going to install this in the car, and we're gonna find out if it's possible to install Type R lower control arms without doing the entire Type R hub and axle conversion. This should be interesting, guys. Stay tuned. Look at that, guys. That's the original bushing from the original control arm. You see how torn up it is? All those cracks on the rubber. Pretty bad. So I'm super happy that I'm doing this. Start with the end link. We're gonna go ahead and remove that. You need a 14mm and an Allen wrench in order to grab the center to prevent it from spinning. We're going to start by removing the center cotter pin. Now take a breaker bar and take a 13/16 deep socket or short socket, whichever, and just break this bolt loose. Take your bolt joint tool right here, slide it in place. Alright guys, so now we have removed the lower control arm out of the bolt joint. So now this end is loose. Next we're going to move on to the other ends on the lower control arm. This bolt right here, and there's another one right across inside by the axle. This bolt right here, it is a 3/4 as well as the bolt joint. I'm not sure which one that is, but I'll tell you in a second. Take your brake bar, same thing. As you can see, we have loosened up this bolt real quick. So now we're gonna move on to the axle bolt. We're gonna hook it up and take it out. Just like that. So now we can pop this hub assembly out of the axle. After you take out the axle nut, you go back into the lower control arm here and get a crowbar or anything like that. All you have to do really is just get behind here so you can have some leverage in order to pull down the lower control arm out of the bolt joint. We got the bolt joint out of the lower control arm. So now we're just gonna pull it off just like that. And now our lower control arm, it's free from the hub. In this step, I'm removing my axle because I'm installing new ones, so disregard this part of the instructions. This is more for me, but this is how you remove your axle. Just pull your hub out and it comes right out just like this. Keep in mind guys, when you're doing the axles, you are gonna lose some transmission fluid, so you're gonna have to do a fresh transmission fluid change. You're gonna lose some fluid, not much. As you can see guys, this is where the axle goes, and I'm losing a little bit of fluid, but I was gonna change it out anyway. Next we're gonna remove the last bolt holding the lower control arm. As you can see, we got that one right here, and that's the last one right about there. So we're gonna remove that one, which is a 3/4 as well, and then we can slide out the lower control arm. How do you like my setup? Deep socket, 90-degree angle adapter, a little bit of extension, and the air gun. It's working out good. We're gonna go ahead and back this out. Back lower control arm bolt is out. Now we have this one out as well, so we're gonna go ahead and remove this one. Okay, so this one's out. Pretty simple, and this one should just come out. There you go. Now the lower control arm, it's free. Alright, got it out. Now we have the parts lined up. Obviously this is the old parts right here. Very rusty. See, finish peeling right there. But my axles are pretty much shot. I always wanted to replace them, so it was perfect timing for that. This is the old lower control arm. Right there. Those are the bushings. But as you can see, it's very, very heavy. Very. And compared to the lower control arm, the Type R aluminum control arm, so much better. Now with the new bushings, it's gonna come out great. This is the new axle. That's awesome guys. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw the new parts onto the car. Alright guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and install the Type R lower control arm. We're almost in. That section right there is almost in the slot, so now we have to put the bolt through it. This one I have to adjust a little bit. It is kind of a tight fit due to the bushings. They're a lot stiffer than the rubber ones, so yeah, it's definitely a lot harder than taking them out. So we're gonna go ahead and work a little bit more on it, and then we can move on to the next step. Alright guys, after 30 minutes getting those bushings aligned with the hole, I got the bolts in. They're nice and tight, everything's good to go. I'm gonna tell you guys, this is not easy by any means. So make sure you have time, take a whole day off, and to tackle something like this. So, but overall, it's starting to look really good. Let's see if we can still reuse the Type S sway bar. If not, I'm gonna have to get the Type R one installed, so which is not a big deal. I have them in stock. So you see the distance right there. Now we're gonna get the lower control arm inside the ball joint and make sure that's done. But before that, we're gonna go ahead and install the axle. But overall, it's looking pretty good. We'll see if we can reuse that Type S sway bar. We got the new axle right here, so we're gonna go ahead and install it. We got the axle inside the transmission. Now we're gonna slip it right inside the hub. So just make sure you pull this away from the car and bend it like that. Just get it right behind there. So now we have the axle somewhat inside the transmission, and next we're gonna go ahead and install the lower control arm onto the ball joint right here. Alright guys, so here we have the camber bolt. It's ready to be installed. It comes with instructions, so just make sure you read them. That way you can apply it to your application. It does come with extra parts, so make sure you use the right ones. So for us, we only need this tab right here, and it's very basic. There you have it. The installation is going pretty smoothly. I'm gonna break it down. I'm only gonna do the driver's side today, but I will continue the video very soon. I'm gonna do the passenger side, tackle that another day, just because each side does come with its own challenges. But overall, what I've experienced so far, the lower control arm went in nicely. The bushings are really stiff, so you're gonna have to muscle it in there. It was a battle, but they were able to go in, so we don't have any issues there. The sway bar, it is an issue. It seems like the Type S sway bar, it's narrower than the Type R, and that's a given. I know that you do need the Type R sway bar in order to do control arms and hubs and stuff like that, but I was trying to work around it to see if I was able to use the Type S one, but I think I have two options: either get the Type R sway bar and see if it fits over the header and all that, or get an extension that goes from the lower control arm to the sway bar. Hopefully I can solve that problem quickly. Overall, it is challenging, but it's getting done. I need to get this done by the end of next Wednesday, because on Thursday I have my track event, so I'm trying to get this done before that day for sure. Thanks so much for watching, and make sure you hit the thumbs up. My hands are dirty as always. Subscribe for more, and also hit the bell notification to get notified for more videos. Until the next one, peace.